Guru Nation, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, share. It is ad-free YouTube channel for your viewing pleasure. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers, so please, if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. I wanted to make a quick video driving to the site about and kind of documenting the journey for my site. Today I want to talk about creating cheat sheets for your trials. And there's generally two kinds of work in our industry that coordinators do. There's the actual task doing, like, for example, seeing a patient visit and conducting all the assessments, and even things like regulatory, filling out necessary regulatory documents for whether it's startup, maintenance, or closeout. Those are task doing work. Then there's another level above that. It's more abstract, and it's creating tools, abstract tools, to help you do your tasks better. Either to help you do your tasks better or to help your team do the tasks better. And these abstract functions are a little more complex because you have to sort of imagine the situation, right? You're not responding necessarily to any particular task or duty. You might be creating this because you've ran into issues and you said, you know what, I don't want to go through this again. I don't want to have to keep going through this. So let me create this tool, this cheat sheet, to help me and the staff do our tasks better. And so cheat sheets become important for a multiple number of reasons. One of our PIs for a study, we just started 2 new studies with this PI, so everyone's kind of confused. Both studies got started at the same time. They're both respiratory studies. They're both big sponsors, so all the inclusion-exclusion criteria is kind of getting jumbled up together in our heads. So what we had our lead CRC create a cheat sheet for the PI. The most important elements of the study: how long it is, what type of drug it is. In this case, it's a subcutaneous injection, but if it was an IV administration, or if it was an oral pill, or whatever the case may be, you can at least be able to quick reference something and say, okay, this is like the Cliff Notes version of this study. Then it has even more specifics like inclusion, exclusion criteria, some of the most important. And that's the PI and sub-I cheat sheet, right? It lets them know kind of the basics of what the study is. So the purpose of this abstract tool is for them to think which patients they see in their day-to-day practice that may qualify for the trial. Now, we also need cheat sheets for some of the more critical visits, and usually the critical visits are screening and randomization. If you can handle a screening and a randomization visit, basically every other visit generally takes care of itself. Now, you do have exceptions where you have particularly long visits that are not screening or randomization that require a lot of PK draws, and it might be helpful to make a cheat sheet around those visits as well. But the purpose of a cheat sheet is to streamline the staff when they encounter that visit. So different studies have different nuances in regards to their screening visits or their randomization visits, and there's a lot of potential pitfalls that we try to avoid. The last thing we want to do is screen fail someone due to our mistake and not actually because the patient doesn't qualify. And believe it or not, this can happen a lot, especially when it comes to patient-reported outcomes and when it comes to staff needing to check certain boxes, and maybe the staff's not paying attention and just doing things quickly to get the visit done faster. So to avoid these pitfalls, screening and baseline, you really need to make sure you're not accidentally screen failing patients when they shouldn't be, or you're not inappropriately randomizing patients when they should actually be screen failed. So this is the purpose of the cheat sheets for these visits, is to walk that coordinator through. And by the way, you can incorporate these cheat sheets when it comes to specific visits within an eSource program like Creo. There are ways to do it based on headers and alerts and having things pop up and not being able to get past certain parts of the eSource. Like, you can get pretty clever as far as finding ways to hack your eSource, but you don't really need it. If the cheat sheet is simple enough, it could literally be a laminated page that every time you encounter this visit, you pull this laminated page out and you just make sure everything on there is going smooth, right? And if you look at airline pilots, because I just got off a flight, they have laminated sheets all over the place. They have, under these weather conditions, this is what I got to do. And under this situation, this is what I have to do. These are just checklists. And there's actually a really good book on this topic called The Checklist Manifesto, which I read probably a decade ago. I recommend, because it does help teach one the purpose of making these abstract tools. Because yeah, you can do the study without these tools. This is not a requirement. No sponsor or CRO requires that you use these things. But once you start making enough mistakes, you realize, hey, there could be a better way to do this. I believe having a tool like this will help. And that's something that we're going to be doing today for some of our new studies, is just getting the coordinators or the staff through that screening visit and that randomization visit. Just wanted to make a quick video on the power of these abstract tools from a recruitment standpoint for a provider, as well as for the basic screening and randomization and or any other complicated study visits you may encounter. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Let me know what I've missed in this video, and let me know if you've had success using and creating these tools. Bye-bye.